Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Ben. Ben was a third grader at South Shore Christian Academy. And like most third graders, Ben had a few regular friends, but Ben had a best friend, and his best friend's name was Tom. Ben and Tom were two pretty average best friends. Like most people, they enjoyed their classes together, but what they really liked to do was play together. And it just so happened that Ben and Tom had a lot in common. But one day, Ben's whole life changed forever. You see, the principal at Ben's school decided that all of the third graders needed to learn how to play an instrument. Ben had never learned how to play an instrument before, so he would have to start from scratch. But he enjoyed listening to orchestra-type music, and he really liked the violin. So he decided that he'd learn how to play a violin. And he discovered something incredible. Ben was a better violinist than any of the other kids were in his school at their instruments. In fact, he was so good at playing the violin that he had progressed more than some of the high schoolers. At around the same time, Tom also made a miraculous discovery about himself. He found out that he was a brilliant mathematician. Tom was learning how to graph polynomials while his third grade friends were just learning their simple addition. So Ben and Tom were the two child prodigies of their school. But they quickly found out that their gifts started to separate them from the rest of their classmates. As the two young boys began to compare themselves to the rest of the class, their differences became more and more apparent, until finally the two child prodigies turned into the two social pariahs of the school. And to a point, Ben and Tom began to compare themselves to each other. And they found that their gifts, being different, started to create a barrier in between the two of them. So finally, Ben and Tom, the two best friends, ended their friendship and struggled separately. After that, Ben and Tom became very emotional people. The lack of friendships in their lives created emotional swings during certain periods of time. And they would either be extremely happy or extremely sad. But unfortunately, most of the time, it was just depression. So their parents tried to help them in any way they could. They actually got Ben and Tom to even go to group therapy with other child prodigies in the state. But unfortunately, the simple difference in the gifts, just like with the two of them, stopped all of the children from coping with each other. And the group therapy just turned out to be useless. However, by their high school graduation, Ben and Tom finally were able to accept themselves as individuals. They no longer cared about their appearance or how many friends they had. They were just finally satisfied. So Ben went on to the top violin college in the nation. And he had the opportunity to play his music with other violinists who were child prodigies that had the same experiences as he did. And they were all able to cope with each other and be the best violinists that they could possibly be. Tom, however, didn't end so well. He just stopped caring about what was good or bad in life. And he went on to become an alcoholic. And then he became the accountant for a drug dealer. And finally, Tom passed away from an overdose of horse tranquilizers.